I'm Jason Mason, and today we are diving deep into the cliches of music production. We are talking about everything from the overuse of beat quantization to the saturation of specific digital effects. It's time to identify these overplayed elements and explore how to innovate beyond them. Ready to freshen up your tracks? Let's go. Number 1. The quantization overkill. Kicking things off with quantization. Sure, it's great for tightening up those sloppy beats, but when every drum hit and rhythm section is snapped to a grid, music loses its human touch. Instead of relying solely on perfect timing, let's embrace a bit of swing or shuffle. This can add a natural feel to your rhythms that can't be replicated by machines. Quantization is really good if you have, for example, a bad performance of some musician, but don't use it too much. If you quantize the tracks too much, it sounds very sterile. So find a mix between naturality and quantization. Next one, the predictable pitch correction. Moving on to the pitch correction. It's not just about auto-tune. While subtle pitch adjustment is a boon for slightly off vocals, heavily processed tunes are losing their soul. Let's scale back and use pitch correction as it was intended: to assist, not dominate. Encourage performances that are naturally expressive and use technology to enhance rather than overhaul. If you're T-Pain, just do what you need to do. But if you're everyone else, don't use auto-tune too much. A good production totally needs auto-tune, just slightly, but don't overdo that thing. Next point, the reverb drench. Reverb can create space and depth, but drowning elements in reverb has become a tired fix for lackluster recordings. Excessive reverb muddies the mix and disguises the true quality of the sound. A lighter touch can often be more effective, providing dimension without overwhelming the core elements of your track. Of course, your vocals need some verb or your guitar solo, but don't overdo it. Too much reverb destroys your track and your mix. Next one, the hi-hat machine gun. Trap and hip-hop are notorious for rapid-fire hi-hats, but when every song features a similar pattern, it becomes mundane. Experiment with different rhythmic patterns, incorporate live percussion, or dial back the velocity to vary intensity and give your track a unique signature. Don't overdo the hi-hat. Of course, hip-hop has a kick, has a snare, and some straight-up hi-hat, but don't produce boring tracks. Maybe use a percussive shaker instead of a hi-hat or some other percussive instrument. Just be experimental. Next one, the ubiquitous 808 bass. While the 808 kick has defined genres, its omnipresence in modern music can feel repetitive. Challenge yourself to explore other bass sounds that can deliver low-end power without defaulting to the 808. Synthesize your own bass tones or layer different samples to create something truly distinctive. Go out and buy yourself some bass guitar or play a piano and pitch it down some octaves. Those are all the things that could make your song more interesting for the listener. Next one, the wall-to-wall synth pads. Synth pads create lush backdrops for many tracks, yet using the same pad sounds across multiple projects creates a homogeneous sound landscape. Try modifying presets using unusual sound sources for pads or manipulating samples with effects to craft unique atmospheric layers. Once again, it's all about making your song not boring, making it interesting. How about a concept album with you experimenting with synth pads, e-guitars, and maybe some trumpets? Be interesting. And here we have the last point: static stereo imaging. Stereo imaging tools can wonderfully widen a mix, but when used excessively, they can make tracks feel disjointed and unnaturally wide. Focus on creating a mix that sounds good in mono first. Then use stereo enhancements judiciously to complement the track without making it reliant on stereo effects for its impact. As said a few videos earlier, try to record your song as good as possible, because with that your mixing won't take that long and it will sound better. And there you have it. 7 overused production techniques and how to steer clear of them. By challenging ourselves to avoid these cliches, we elevate our music to something that stands out in a crowded scene. All these points of this video in a nutshell make your song interesting. If you've got thoughts or your own tips on avoiding these cliche techniques, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more insights on making your music truly your own. Until next time, keep pushing the boundaries of what you can create. Catch you on the next wave. However, until next time.